it's a way to show them and to show Italy how much Chicago is perpetuating our heritage and culture.
Is Taylor Street kind of on autopilot now? Because there's a lot that it goes into
Autopilot. Any of the complainers want to donate to get us open sooner? Here's my number.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Hardcore Italians podcast. We got Ron Onesti with us, and Ron, it's summer, man. It's here. The events.
Out of control, man. Out of control. What's going on?
You were telling me it's like a little overwhelming, and I feel like I don't see you get overwhelmed too much. So.
I know, but you know what? I mean, I'm still, we even hate to say the word COVID these days, but you're still feeling actually the positive effects, which is, the people coming back out, hugging, enjoying the outdoors, enjoying live music, going to restaurants. I mean, our places are full. The social distancing is a 4-letter word. It's all pretty much gone by the wayside, and people are just loving the experiences. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
Yeah, exactly. And we're getting down to the wire here. You got the, how do you say it? Frecce, Tricolori.
We got to work on your Italian, bro. Repeat after me.
Yeah.
Frecce Tricolori.
Frecce di colore.
Right.
Okay.
So the Frecce is an arrow.
Yeah.
And Tricolore means it's three colors.
Three-color, yeah.
So basically, many people have seen it but don't realize they've seen it. The last time they were in Chicago was in 1992 in celebration of the 500th anniversary of Columbus. So it's been 32 years since they've been in the United States. Mm-hmm. It's something we've been working very hard on for the last almost 3 years. And
wow,
I tell you
3 years. That's insane.
Well, you know what? It's just a personal thing that I've been really, really wanted to see. I mean, my original goal was, can you imagine this above the Columbus Day Parade? That was what I was really trying to do. But again, the timing is a little off. It has to be, when they're doing their thing around the world. But this is the Italian aerobatic team. This is 10 fighter planes, 9 plus 1 solo. That, again, you've probably seen it, but don't realize you've seen it. It's this picture of the 10 planes in the form of an arrow flying in the sky with the green, white, and red smoke behind it. It's tremendous. But to see it live and hear it, it's breathtaking.
Yeah.
And we got it done, and very close with the Secretary of Defense of Italy, the generals, the lieutenant colonels, the whole team. I mean, again, we've become one big happy family. I just returned from Los Angeles, where they first came to America and landed. Let's see, it's almost they've been here almost a week as of this filming. And it just, again, to see it fly right over our heads and to hear it, it's, if you know what the Thunderbirds or the Blue Angels are in America, it's the Italian Blue Angels. Just spectacular.
Yeah. So that's kind of the first event coming up. And then what's the date? Where do you go to get the best view? Like, how's the process?
So we've got it. It's been changing around the location a little bit because there's a lot of factors involved. We're dealing with the FAA. We're dealing with the city. We're dealing with a lot with the federal government. Anything when you do with the airspace, there's a box we have to determine, like where they can fly within. There's a lot of details, and and then dealing with Italy is always slight the challenge.
Yeah.
They're not in a rush for anything. So, but anyway, we just got it
That's
done.
Awesome.
I know, right? But no, the best place where the official reviewing stand, let's call it, is going to be right on Navy Pier.
Okay.
It's on a Saturday morning. It's July 27th, 9 a.m., and we have a bus leaving from Casa Italia at 7:30 in the morning if you want to take a bus, or there's parking right there in the east lot on Navy Pier. But our buses are going to pull right up on Navy Pier. There's a whole seating area that we have. Okay. And if you RSVP to the JCCIA office, you can be invited to a special reception we're having right after. Because the whole thing is only going to be about maybe 8 minutes long, 10 minutes long, because it's a flyover.
Yeah,
but
that sounds long for a flyover, though. I would thought you were going to say like a minute or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, each one is, but they're doing several. They're
going
around, they're coming around again, and it's...
That's awesome.
They have a thing called the Amerigo Vespucci ship. That was
I was reading
built
about
in
that.
1930, and it came over from Italy and it docked in Los Angeles. And that's another reason why I was invited to go there to really experience the Frecce flying above the Amerigo Vespucci boat.
That's so cool.
It's
so cool.
I can't even tell you. We're all just so emotional, and it's spectacular. And for Chicago to be a part of it, see, and it's really an amazing thing that we're a part of it. If you understand that we did all this, we got it done, we got to be a part of, the first thing anyone would say, well, it's going to be at the Chicago Air and Water Show. Well, of course, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And we did that. It was part of the Chicago Air and Water Show. Then the Democratic National Convention comes to town, and they moved the date of the air show, Chicago Air and Water Show.
Okay, because I know moved the date of Taylor Street too.
Yeah,
so,
that's another thing too. Boy, I tell you what,
yeah,
go politics. But yeah, and so but the whole route and everything was already done.
Okay.
So the whole performance thing is going to happen those days on the Saturday and Sunday in Milwaukee at the Milwaukee Air Show.
Okay.
But because we're so involved in it, because we actually kind of made it happen, because they have so much respect for the Chicago Italian American and aviation communities, that's why they're doing this very special flyover for us. It's a nod to Chicago.
That's awesome.
But I mean, to be on Navy Pier, to see this amazing presentation with the Chicago skyline in the background, I mean, and to hear it, the thunderous engines, it's just spectacular.
Yeah, and you said it's been 32 years since
32 years, and who knows, I mean, now we have a
to
great
Chicago
relationship
or
with
just
them.
to United
States. Yeah.
Oh my God. So yeah, this is a first for Chicago then?
Not
that
a first.
They
They were
this?
here 32 years. But,
Okay.
But they were here, and and actually, it's cool because I'm working with some of the O'Hare Airport people, and again the FAA people, and the tower
involved,
people.
man.
There's Office of Emergency Management in Chicago. I mean, all these departments we're trying to coordinate, and it's cool because some of the more mature individuals, which leaves me out, but the more mature individuals in the equation were around when it was here last time, so they're like giddy. They're like, they can't believe, if you're in aviation, this is a big treat.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
and then so that's going to happen on this Saturday,
yeah,
on the 27th of July, and then on Monday, the 29th of July, at 2:30 p.m. we're going to have a flag raising and a big Chicago salute to the pilots and the brass, because we're having generals and so forth, officers of the Italian Air Force will be here. Wow. And we're going to do a presentation right on Daly Plaza, and there'll be some proclamations and some speeches by aldermen, and everybody's invited. We want them to come down, bring the flags. I mean, let's make it a really nice thing for the pilots.
Yeah.
Because it's again, it's a way to show them and to show Italy how much Chicago is perpetuating our heritage and culture. So that's at 2:30 on that Monday, on the 29th of July, and then at 7 p.m. we're doing something that we've never done before, which is just like us. It's going to be a Heroes Welcome Parade. It's going to be, again, 7 p.m. on the 29th of July, which is the Monday night. It's going to be on Harlem Avenue, and they're going to be between Belmont and Addison, and we want to line the streets. Again, it's going to be floats. It's going to be not a long parade, not the Columbus Day Parade. It's going to be more like a procession, because we're not closing the street off. We're just going down the street. But we're going to... again, we're calling it a Hero's Welcome, and we just want them to feel the love from Chicago, and it's just a spectacular thing. And there'll be a couple other events, because I'll have them with me for 6 days actually.
Oh,
so
nice.
We're doing a bunch of different things. Even while they're, let me put it this way, they love us so much that so the first 3 days they land the Wednesday before. So Wednesday through Sunday, they're all involved in Milwaukee. They're still staying here in Chicago.
Okay.
They don't mind driving every day an hour and 20 minutes to get to Milwaukee, do their thing, come back, stay with us. So that's how. And I'm like, you got to really understand what you're doing here. I think maybe some hotel rooms in Milwaukee. No, they want to stay with us.
That's cool. You built a good relationship with them. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm very proud of that. So
that's awesome.
If I'm just telling everybody, you got to be a part of it. You got to witness this thing. It's going to be just spectacular.
Yeah, and so. The only thing I'm thinking in my head when you're saying all this stuff too is like, I mean, because it's close to the weekend of Taylor Street. I mean, it sounds like a lot of work with like you're dealing with the airport, you're dealing with Italy, you're dealing with like politics, like just to put it all. And then Taylor Street the next weekend is like, is Taylor Street kind of on autopilot now? Because there's a lot that it goes into
autopilot.
that. Like, do people just know what they're doing and everything? Like, you could just be hands off.
The only thing that's on autopilot are the planes right now, or the Frecce. But Taylor Street, man, that's
what I'm saying. How are you doing? Like, it's because it's kind of jammed with the convention, like you said. Everything's getting pushed up. So how are you doing that? And then next weekend,
that's what we do, man.
Is Taylor?
It's
how are you doing that?
It is. It's I'm lucky. I've got a great staff, and our
that's
volunteers
good.
are are part of it, and it's a really big team effort. I mean, again, everybody with the Joint Civic Committee is really stepping up, and the Harlem Avenue Little Italy Business Association stepping up. Our local aldermen, just everybody is really making this making it happen. So
yeah, because it's huge. I mean, what do you get? 100,000 people over the weekend, or
I mean on Taylor Street?
Yeah, Taylor Street.
So Taylor Street, which is moved again because of the convention. Normally it's the second weekend in August. It's the first weekend. It's August 8th through 11.
Yeah.
This year, and it's Thursday and Friday 5 to 10 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday noon to 10 p.m. And the big headliners, of course, the Bronx Wanderers from Las Vegas. Everybody loves them. They'll be on Saturday and Sunday. But, we'll have 5-6 stages of different types of entertainment, all the great food, the great merchandise with hardcore Italians, of course, bocce ball, just a lot of great stuff. And that's something we're very proud of as well. So, it's kind of one thing, the Taylor Street, the Frecce, just everything. It's just we are working on both of those things 20 hours a day.
Yeah, because it's a big deal. It's a big event, Taylor Street. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's got to be a million pieces, just the same, with that event as the air show and stuff. So that's where I'm like, how do you do two? Like, it's probably tough to pull one off. It's like pulling two off, and it's pulling it off like you have a week,
I have no comment. I have no comment. Senator, on the what did he say? The potential to incriminate myself. I have no statement. No, it's really it's all melding together.
Okay.
And but it's and then also working with Italy. Remember, they're 8 hours ahead.
Yeah.
So I'm on the phone with them 2, 3, 4 in the morning.
Oh my God! Yeah, you probably don't sleep.
Believe me, look at this. I can feel the bags just whole, but no, I mean, believe me, far from looking from sympathy. Again, everybody is working hard on this, and it's so rewarding. We've been, last year we had about 100,000 people, and on Taylor Street, and just people love it. They just love it. They come in. The hotel stuff that we do, the hotel arrangements we do for people from all over the country, is really something. I mean, it's getting to be one of the biggest and best. Definitely one of the biggest and best Italian festivals in the country, and definitely one of the biggest and best festivals in Chicago.
Yeah, 1,000%. And just between those two events, even like what you have going on with Onesti Entertainment and stuff, it's just, I always think how crazy it is with everything you're doing. I feel like I have a hard time keeping up just with hardcore sometimes.
It's nothing, man. It's nothing. No, I mean, you know what? We all do what we do, and I my life is music and meatballs, and how do you, I mean, I'm not complaining. I love it. And everybody, it's nice because it's rewarding. I mean, our communities are all, it's a resurgence. I mean, for a while, people, we weren't get into our heritage as much. And, the Columbus statue thing, again, working still, it's an everyday thing, that Columbus statue issue. But we're moving forward. It's snail's pace, but we definitely are moving forward positively. Taylor Street is, again, there was some things out there about, someone came out with, which is, I don't even know what it was, which is Little Italy, Taylor Street or Harlem.
Yeah. I saw that. I was almost going to ask your opinion on that, actually.
You know what? My opinion is that why do people, that is putting a divide in our community. You know what? It's Taylor Street is the historic, original Little Italy that will never change.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, my gosh, I'm born on Taylor and Western. My grandparents came here and settled on Taylor and Western, Taylor and Bishop in 1911, 1917. And all of our, I mean, that will never change. But to have other Little Italy areas, Harlem Avenue in the 80s deemed themselves the Harlem Avenue Little Italy.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? How about Ogden Avenue? How about Chicago Heights? How about all these places?
Yeah.
I'd like to have 20 Little Italys. I mean, isn't that what we're trying to do here? But the bottom line here is, we can never take anything. When people say Harlem Avenue is Little Italy, no, Taylor Street's Little Italy. You know what? Gosh. I don't get it. It's just ways of dividing again.
Yeah.
So the bottom line here is, I mean, you're asking my opinion. Taylor Street will never change. I mean, sure, there's some changes. There's some new developments. It's become a much more international neighborhood. But who's keeping score here? It's Little Italy. It'll always be Little Italy. Harlem Avenue. We got the Italian American Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad you brought it up, because I kind of was curious your opinion or what you would say on that, because with the Hall of Fame and everything, like, I don't know, just all the history and everything with Taylor Street, I was really curious your opinion. I'm glad you said something.
No, my opinion is why have an opinion on who's.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's like there's always got to be somebody that I'm stronger, I'm bigger, we're this, we're older. Oh my gosh, we're all one community.
Yeah, it's
I
cool.
mean, to say that Harlem Avenue is a vibrant Italian American enclave. I'm so proud of it.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
I really
That's cool.
am.
There's tons.
To say Taylor Street's got the historic Italian, I mean, I don't care, is Rosebud there or not, is this there or not, you walk down Taylor Street, if you know what it's all about,
Yeah.
and if you were born there, or you're brought up there, or you've just experienced it, you still feel it.
Yeah.
You go to Pompeii, you go to any of the other restaurants that are out there, the history is there. So, like I said, my opinion is that there shouldn't be a divide. They both have their own identity, and they share an identity.
Yeah.
Just like other parts of the city.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. No, it's cool you brought up like the
mean, there's
Heights
little-
too. 'Cause
the
my
Heights,
fiance's from the
Oakley.
Heights, and I know there's like a lot of Italian history there, and they
Oh
do
my
a fest
gosh.
and stuff. So it's yeah, that's cool you brought that up. There's tons of Italian
course.
enclaves in Chicagoland
Of
area.
course. Let's
so.
be proud of that.
Yeah.
Yes, Harlem Avenue. Yes, Chicago Heights. Yes, Ogden Avenue. Yes, Elwood Park. Yeah, I mean, what are
Yeah.
we doing here? Anyway, so no, that's
True.
very, very proud of what's going on. The Hall of Fame, you see on social media, we finished just yesterday as of this taping, the mural. Right on the north side of the building, and we've got inside. We've got all the plans, we've got all the drawings, we've got the permits. I mean, that's going ahead. So really trying hard by the end of the year to have that open, and it's just going to be another gem in the crown of our Italian American community. It's very exciting.
That's awesome. I feel like every year it's just like
Well, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
My gosh. I mean, people said, are you ever going to open? It's been 4 years. Yeah. Keep in mind, it's all volunteers. We're raising money.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who wants to donate, and any of the complainers want to donate to get us open sooner, here's my number. But actually, we have all the
that's
funding.
where we should have a shirt too that goes towards.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Absolutely.
We'll get working on that.
Absolutely.
Portion of the proceeds go to that. That would be
100%.
awesome.
But we've been raising funds, and it's been great. Eddie Greco, everybody knows Eddie. He's chairman of our building fund committee, and he's been calling all his friends and other people in the community, and our board of directors are really, again, another team effort.
Yeah.
And it's very exciting. Like I said, all this stuff, and I'll have a couple more really exciting announcements probably the next time that we sit down about some more developments that are going to be involved in the community.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's always seems like every year there's just more events, more things opening, more. You know what I mean? It feels like we're growing. It's cool. So.
Oh yeah.
Thanks
Well,
for everything
finally.
you're doing, man. You're hustling.
Everybody, man. Well, look what you guys are doing. You got Italian in your name.
Yeah.
Hardcore. I mean, you got to look. There's red, white, and green flags. There's
Yeah.
Italian flags. I mean, this is if we all come together and do it, just like we're doing on the Bocce tournament, the
Yeah.
hardcore at Casa Italia.
Exactly.
And the classic we did last year was so successful and so cool. And again,
I know people love it, man. It's
well,
a good
you know
time.
what? It's bocce, and it's camaraderie, and it's some sausage sandwiches. I mean, it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But the sleeper thing for me that I didn't realize just to what degree that you guys and your dad and Peter were putting together is that auto show was like, what is going on here? I expected
Yeah.
a couple Fiats and we'd be done with it, a couple Ferraris maybe, but I don't even know, 100, 200, through whatever amount of vehicles and movie vehicles from movie sets, and just what a cool thing. And with the nice weather, Casa Italia in the background, which we'll have reports about that the next time we get together too. A lot of exciting things happen with that.
Nice.
But again, getting back to that event, what's the date of that? June, July, August, September 28th.
September 28th. Yeah.
September 28th. Sorry, I get all my stuff mixed up. But it is
No, you're good.
it is a Saturday morning, September 28th, and I think it's Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Or Sunday? Saturday. It is Saturday, and everyone's again, I know on our side, I know the teams are lining up, sponsorships. You want to be a
Yeah.
part of it? Get a hold of Hardcore Italians, because
Yeah.
just a lot of people are a part of this thing. Get your name out there
Yeah,
for sure.
I was gonna say I'm glad you're bringing it up so far in advance too, because there's just limited amount of teams that could play,
Yeah.
and tickets are selling now, so it's good to let people know now, not too late. So
Yeah, well, last
appreciate
year, how many calls were we getting night before? I need a team. Like, what are you doing?
it. Yeah, and you can't just with the bracket and
Yeah.
stuff. It's a lot to put together.
Right,
So
right. No,
I
it's
feel
so
you.
much fun, and the courts are great. We've been really working hard on the courts, and we're just about to finish our leagues over there at Casa Italia. The
Mm-hmm.
courts are in great shape, and the food will be flowing. It's just I'm so looking forward to that September 28th date over at Casa Italia with the tournament. So much fun.
Yeah, me too. And yeah, I think we covered a lot of the events over the summer. I know you said we could bring up a few things next podcast, but is there anything else you want to touch on? Or
well, you know what? Again, I can't say enough. I know I'm making your ears bleed with the Frecce thing, but I just can't say enough how an important event, no matter how old you are, no matter where you live, no matter if you're Taylor Street or Harlem, all that stuff, no matter any of that, you know, if you have even an ounce of Italian pride, you should be at the parade on Harlem Avenue on the 29th at night. You should be at Daly Plaza as we raise the Italian flag in the middle of the plaza, and you're at Navy Pier on the 27th in the morning. You know, is cool the emotion that we feel on Columbus Day and the parade. You know, this is such a like the feel you get. You know, if anything militarily or military-wise affects you, you know, if you feel it in your soul when the Blue Angels, you hear that, if you go to Air and Water Show and you hear the thunderous roars, any of that stuff, you feel that this is going to represent your grandparents like nothing else.
Yeah,
got to be there.
That's
gotta
awesome.
Be there.
That's awesome. That's a beautiful note to end it on too. You got me jacked up. So, Ron, thanks again for coming by and explaining everything, and we'll catch you on the next one, guys.
Hardcore.